Hey guys, welcome back to Board Watch. I'm Brian.
Lisa.
Justin.
All right, and with watching 2 episodes today, we're going to finish off Season 1, but first we got to get through Season 1, Episode 9. Lisa, you said you wrote down 4 points of notes that you wanted to talk about. I would probably recommend talking to Justin about them, and I will interject if I am able.
Okay. So obviously, we saw Helga at the beginning in the kids' room, all bashed up, and we saw him at the end of the episode in the bunker room, which is still technically the same room. Those wounds look really fresh, so he must have gotten snatched and put in that room and time traveled.
I said that last time.
Oh, okay. Well, I don't remember what you said.
I said like he's gonna stumble into, because like it was exactly what the wounds, they looked real fresh.
Yeah, like they didn't even look healed at all.
Yeah.
There's a scene also where Regina in 1986, younger Regina, is looking in the mirror and pulls up her sleeve and sees a scar. I'm curious to know what that is about. Like, why show it if it doesn't mean something?
Regina in 86?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. It was in like episode 2.
So it was like the first time we met Regina.
Wasn't that after she got, in reference to when she got tied up on the tree by Ulrich and Katarina? No,
it was before that. It was like the first episode. Remember the episode where she's riding in the car with her mom?
Yeah,
but her mom's like.
But it might
that
have
incident, that scene would have been after, because the first time they go to 86.
True.
Mads is already missing.
Yeah. So maybe it is just
it was probably a reference to them tying up. Maybe. Not.
I don't know. I was
reading. I'll have to watch it again. Yeah, I don't remember that. But I guess back then we didn't even know who these people were.
Exactly. So part of me was just kind of like, is that important? Does that have anything to do that we're going to learn later?
So now you have to worry about 1953 characters, 1986 characters.
Well, now I got the hang of it, so now I can pay attention.
Yeah.
But back then, I was still trying to freaking learn the 2019 versions, and then all of a sudden we're thrown into 86, and I was like, Jesus, man. Yeah. They're all speaking German. And I'm like half having to read and then look at their face, and they all look the same.
And then third thing was obviously the stranger that took Yassine. We don't actually see the face. He does say something. I don't remember vocally if the voice matched. It could have been Helge or the stranger, because it was just a hooded figure. So I don't know if it's hooded figure Helge that's taking people, or because we talked about that before, that we're not really sure who dragged Eric and.
I'm pretty sure it was Helga, though.
Well, I'm pretty sure so too.
Because
we saw Helga dragging one body.
Because
once.
we saw Helga twice doing that. We saw I guess it's presumptively Helga was dragging Eric.
Yeah. And
then we saw Helga definitely dragging Yassine.
Out of the bunker. Yeah.
Wearing the same poncho.
Yeah.
The stranger's poncho doesn't look like that, though. It looks a little bit different.
I guess it's a little different, yeah.
So I don't think it was the stranger. I think it was. I think that whole reveal was showing that it was definitely 86 Helga who had been physically at least performing the abductions. Yeah. Obviously, he's not the mastermind.
Yeah. All right, and then my biggest point of all, my biggest beef with the show yet. Twice in one episode, the episode after we learned that Mikkel is Michael, we see a class of 87 picture with Mikkel in the picture. How the hell did nobody in a fucking small town realize, oh, that looks like Mikkel? I get that you don't always look at the picture at the high school wall, but they all grew up and went to school with him.
But may I defend it by this? Who would honestly believe that? Because it would require you to wrap your mind around time travel. So even if you looked at it in a passing glance, you might be like, whoa, that kid kind of looks like Mikkel, but like, it's obviously not.
He might have also not have been like a very popular kid or something. Like, how long ago did you graduate high school?
Yeah.
Do you remember everyone's faces? And it hasn't even been anywhere close to 33 years since you graduated high school.
I know, and that's the 33-year bit. Like I get, and I can easily be like, I don't remember meeting somebody for a minute 33 years ago, because there's a lot of people who've met, like Jonas met Hannah.
And also, anybody maybe who did remember the kid would say, oh, that's Michael. Yeah. You know, Jonas' dad who, killed himself. They would say something like that. They'd be like, no, that's not Mikkel, that's Michael. Yeah. Because they'd be like, oh, I know who that kid is. Like, And again, when you add the time travel aspect of people would have to wrap their mind around the fact that he time traveled, I think it's plausible that no one would put that together. Maybe one kook that no one would believe.
Yeah, it's just, I don't know, once Mikhail goes missing, like, again, like I said, not everybody's walking through high school seeing that picture, but I'm just like, how does nobody, like, I mean, I guess maybe somebody thought it and just never actually, like...
And he'd gotten a year older, too, right? In that picture.
Yeah, it was 87 picture.
Yeah, so he would have been a little bit older, and kids age fast.
Yeah.
He looked
and look a little bit
same.
different. I could buy it. I could buy it.
I
could buy it.
I'm just like, pardon me, I'm just like, how? It's a small town. There's like 5 families.
I think it's more. I think it's more weird that like kids keep showing up that no one knows in a small town and no one says anything. Like Jonas and Michael just showing up.
Wait till this episode.
Walking around being like, oh hey, and then like I'm like, bro, there's only 6 kids here. Who are you? Like, who are your parents? You say you got parents. Who are they? Take me to them because I know everybody in the town. Like,
yeah.
Who are you?
Agreed.
Okay. Well, that is a good refresher to kind of get back into episode 9. So we're all on the same wavelength now. Let's get into it. Los geht's.
Was hat denn dein Mann beruflich gemacht? War Pfarrer. Aber ich kann nicht sagen, dass ein Mann vom Glauben war. Vermisst du ihn sehr? War kein guter Mensch. Manchmal glaube ich, ist es gut, dass tot ist. Und ich frei. Ich kann das nicht annehmen. Ich zieh das lieber wieder aus.
See how slow he ran.
Egon or Ulrich?
Oh, look at him. He's got no wheels.
Was haben Sie mit den beiden Jungen auf der Baustelle gemacht? Wo ist Helge? Das waren auch Sie. Die beiden Jungs? Das kann nicht sein. Die dürfen da gar nicht sein. Ich hab's geändert.
Wenn ich herausfinde, wer das dem Bullen erzählt hat, ich mach den fertig.
Vielleicht war es Regina. Ich meine, der Tiedemann ist ja ihr Großvater. Man sieht sich.
This whole show is just Ulrich being chased by E09 every single time.
Ein Gesicht, ein Blick. Ich kenne den Blick.
Ich will, dass du dich von unserer Familie fernhältst. Und ich werde dafür sorgen, dass du vom Matzfall abgezogen wirst.
Ulrich's a little shit.
He really is, dude.
Like, I know you're supposed to feel sorry for him, but
I really don't.
he's also a piece of shit.
I really don't. I mean, yes, he got snaked by the ultimate mastermind, Hannah, but he's a little prick. Holy crap.
It's her dog. 33 years later.
Ich habe gesagt, ihr sollt euch entschuldigen.
Und woher soll ich wissen, dass die echt ist?
E02 haut jetzt ganz schnell ab von hier. Und wenn ihr ihr noch einmal wehtut, mache ich euch fertig. Alles ist okay.
So this would be her husband.
Wie heißt du?
Alexander.
That makes sense why he took her last name.
Es gibt keine Wahrheit, nur Geschichten. Und die Geschichte dieser Stadt liegt jetzt in deinen Händen. Ist unser AKW sicher? Kann so etwas wie Tschernobyl bei uns passieren? Du entscheidest, welche Geschichte du erzählen willst.
Alexander Köhler. Geboren am 21.01.1965.
Just don't trust her at all.
What can I do with this information?
Ich bin neu hier. Suche Arbeit. Regina hat gesagt, sie könnte mir da vielleicht helfen.
Haben Sie eine Ausbildung?
Ich bin gelernter Schlosser. Ich kann arbeiten. Hart. Ich lerne schnell.
Sie sind nicht von hier.
Alles, was ich will, ist eine Chance.
Tut mir leid. Im Moment brauchen wir keine neuen Leute. Aber vielleicht bald. Wie kann ich Sie erreichen?
Na, ich komme einfach morgen wieder vorbei.
Wir alle, die wir die Dunkelheit kennen, sehen uns nach dem Licht, aber es gibt keinen Gott. Gott hat dieses Loch unter uns nicht erschaffen. Gott hat keinen Plan. Es gibt überhaupt gar keinen Plan. Da draußen ist nur Chaos. Schmerz und Chaos. Aber das hier, das ist unsere Arche. Und ich bin nur. Wenn wir diese Energie erzählen, dann können wir alles verändern. Dann bestimmen wir das Schicksal der Welt fernab von allem Bösen. Jedem Schmerz.
Still has it.
That's all it is that she remembers.
Yes, it's-
She still has it.
Still trying to tell me she's not a snake.
I never said she wasn't a snake.
She's been waiting 33 years to drop this bomb. She's like, all right, it's time. Calculate.
Ich habe es beendet.
Right.
When are you guys
wollte
gonna
das
believe
wissen.
me?
I never wanted any of it.
Aber er hat einfach nicht locker gelassen. Weißt ja, wie er sein kann. Er wollte dich verlassen.
Is she gonna accuse him of rape for a second time?
Ich habe ihm gesagt, dass es
You wanted to
verrückt ist. Ich habe gesagt, dass er dich nicht mehr liebt. Dass er mich liebt.
Ich möchte, dass du ihr das gibst. Machst du das für mich? Das war noch davor. Vor dem Sommer und allem, was danach kam. Ich habe sehr viel falsch gemacht damals. Glaub mir, wenn ich die Zeit zurückdrehen könnte, ich würde vieles anders machen.
sie wieder. Ich habe mich all die Jahre gefragt, warum ich sie aufbewahrt habe. Aber alles hat seine Zeit. Keine Sorge. Der Inhalt ist in sicherer Verwahrung.
Was willst du?
Ich will, dass du Ulrich fertig machst. Ich will, dass er alles verliert.
I don't want to say that I'm always fucking right, but...
main antagonist of the entire show, not Noah.
I told you guys. I got a third eye for Psycho.
Third eye.
I can sense it. I was like, something is off with this one.
Did you say Ulrich and Katarina are also kind of crazy though? Don't they kind of have it coming?
They're
violent.
They're a dealable crazy though.
She's just a conniving crazy. They're actually
That's
violent.
worse.
They're actually violent crazy.
I can deal with violent crazy.
Ich brauche Informationen über Ulrich und Jungs. Alles, was nützlich sein könnte.
Okay. Und was machen wir mit dem LKW?
In ein paar Tagen. Wenn alles ruhiger geworden ist, dann bringen wir die Fässer zurück.
Alles ist so eingetreten, wie sie es vorher gesagt haben.
Hast du über mein Angebot nachgedacht?
Ich habe Arbeit für dich. Aber unter einer Bedingung. Du darfst nicht drüber sprechen. Mit niemandem.
Wann fange ich an?
Ich möchte, dass Sie das für mich bauen.
Was soll das sein?
Sagen wir, es ist etwas, das den Lauf der Zeit gerade rücken wird.
So we have two people trying to set things right.
But I don't think they... because... Jesus.
Only one episode left in season 1.
Mm-hmm.
What's going through your head?
Okay. The stranger and her, I don't think are working together.
Okay.
I don't even know if she necessarily knows about the stranger's existence trying to do the same thing.
Okay.
Because it seems like she's possibly causing a lot of the things that he's trying to do.
Essentially.
Update on the stranger.
Okay.
Maybe he's Bartosz.
That's what I was thinking. Based on the whole offer situation thing, like
Noah being like, have you considered my offer?
Clearly he wants to use him for something. So maybe he's like Noah's affiliate who's gone rogue, or
but he's got Helga. Temporary,
but
as of right now,
he doesn't have Helga in 20. Well,
he doesn't have Helga forever. Helga gets old.
We do know that there is an accident happening in a couple days or whatever,
and we know Helga's probably stopping because it seemed like
old Helga is in 1986,
and it probably has something to do with the accident that's going to happen in a few days. Yeah. And he already wants to stop.
Yeah.
Already. And as we know the way it works, once it's stopped, like he can no longer get Helga anymore.
Right.
He'll no longer have Helga anymore because he can't travel.
Bartosz is
so I think he knows he's coming to the end of the line, and that's why he's trying to recruit Bartosz to replace Helga, because he only's got a few days left to be able to do that.
Yeah. I agree.
Which makes me think that the stranger is in fact Bartosz.
Okay.
Jesus, there's a lot to take in.
Yeah.
Hannah's crazy.
Hannah is crazy. But you also found out that Alexander Kuhler, who ended up becoming Alexander Tiedemann, his real name is Boris Niewald.
Yes.
And just kind of was running from dogs with a gunshot wound.
Presumptively,
or with some kind of wound.
Some kind of wound with a gun.
Mm-hmm.
I take a guess he was up to some type of nefarious.
Someone else's passport that is clearly not
his.
him.
Yeah.
He was very clearly Boris Niewald.
Mm-hmm.
I
feel like what he
used and it looked like he built the door.
Or sealed it.
Or sealed it.
Yeah, so you in 2019,
couldn't tell if it was already there.
You could see that it was already blackened and like it was sealing it. It was like welding it shut.
I feel like whatever he wrapped up his gun and passport in looked more like a sandwich wrapper, like elongated. It did not look like a bag with this big of an opening, right?
I'm not sure Alexander actually knows that is a portal. Even 2019 Alexander.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
because
he might not have a clue.
She made him under the condition he doesn't tell anybody and ask about it. He could have just been like, I'm just welding a door shut.
You just needed money
and never, and then I'm sure he thinks something's going on with the game because obviously he runs the company now.
Yeah. Well, you did notice that when he was talking to, I think his name is Voller.
He moved the barrels.
I think his name is Voller, the guy with the eye that you're like, what the fuck is wrong with his eye?
Yeah.
He was talking to Voller, and he's like, Voller was like, dude, what about the barrels? And he's like, don't worry about it right now. Just give me information on it.
But that doesn't necessarily mean he knows about the portal. He just could know that those barrels are
that was
down
something
there.
because
that in general is just dangerous anyways.
Yeah, that's something that Claudia found out when she became the head of the power plant. So, like, it's a good thing for the head of the power plant to know about.
And the incidents. Doppler didn't tell her about the time thing. He only was like, yeah, that's down there temporarily. We're working on fixing it. Obviously, they didn't.
Mm-hmm.
But, so, I'm not 100% sure Alexander actually even knows about the time portal.
Really in the caves,
Yeah, I think all he knows is the barrels are down there. Something's weird's going on because he knew Claudia sent him down there to seal something. But like I said, Chernobyl had just happened, so he's like, for all I know, this is like radioactive, and I'm just sealing this off so cover the tracks.
And the barrels are now near the prostitute.
Yeah.
Yes. Which that brought me to that. I think that is what Peter was doing the night he was. When she knew he was driving that direction.
Yeah, that was the night Mads
I think he might have been helping move those barrels.
Maybe.
The cold open for next episode might talk about something on the day that Mads disappeared. So
cool.
Maybe.
We'll see if that theory holds true.
Let's see. What was there was one thing.
That's what I think both of them are doing, being Ulrich's dad and Peter.
Maybe.
I think both of them were together.
Could be.
Well, I know that whatever they were doing it together. I'm pretty sure because both of them were missing at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
And both of them have the book, are just randomly.
And we know he knows where that prostitute is because he used to,
See them. Yeah.
Okay. Let's see what else.
I feel like there's one other thing I want to say.
More. Ulrich got captured by young Egon.
Yes, correct.
Just always Ulrich and Egon.
Ulrich and Egon.
For all eternity, Ulrich and Egon.
Very curious to see what's going to
happen.
happen.
He's like Jean Valjean and freaking, what's his name?
Will Ulrich ever make it back to 2019, or is he just going to be locked up and tried for murder in 1953?
Yeah, I mean,
then how does Hannah destroy Ulrich? If he's in 1953,
that's true. Yeah, he has to come back. Yeah.
Well,
no, he doesn't.
Well,
I
don't think he's going to get stuck there because if he was booked for Helga and the other kids, presumptively that had already happened. So why are those still open cases even well into the future?
Yeah.
Are they open cases in the future?
Well, I guess
because the two kids are dead kids from
unknown.
2019.
Yeah, that's
true. They have 1986 coins around them, but it's Yassine and Eric Ogendorf who are both from 2019.
And in 53, they're both unidentified.
That's true.
They've got the weird.
He could get stuck there.
He could.
But I feel like Egon would have remembered booking somebody for killing kids in '86.
Yeah.
And would have further looked into it. And like real. But he is very incompetent, so.
Yeah.
We have seen Egon in action.
There is also that. That was also the slowest chase I've ever watched in my life. Like it was just a contest of who's slower. Like.
Yeah. Also, props to Gretchen for going through the portal.
Yeah.
Yes, they're right.
The dog went from 1953 to 1986.
Yeah.
That's right.
It didn't just run through.
The dog time travel.
Yeah.
That's really funny.
Claudia talking to Bartosz, giving a picture. And Claudia going to the young HTG townhouse in 1953.
While he's working on the phone that Oleg left.
So we've seen old Claudia talk to Bartosz in 2019. We've seen old Claudia talk in 1953 talking to HG townhouse.
But she specifically gave him the plans to the machine that the stranger had already, but was broken, and that 1986 HG Towns was
also
working.
Had a copy of, yeah.
So it's going to take him quite some time to build that machine. We know that. The good old flux capacitor.
Yes.
But I guess that aligns with Back to the Future. That's mad Back to the Future 1950s is when he discovers it. Doesn't get completed until 1980s.
Yeah.
A little bit of a rip-off there.
And I think November 5th was the date in Back to the Future, wasn't it?
Was it November 5th? In the first
5th,
one?
November 5th, 1955. Or something like it's...
I can't remember, actually.
But I think November 5th was that the day that Mads disappeared? Or do not open until...
I thought it was the 9th.
Okay. Well, anyway. I don't know if it was like an Easter egg in Dark, like with the... Well, or just remember the 5th of November. But I don't know. I will go back and...
There's no way they didn't realize that connection. Because there's no way while you're writing this, Back to the Future didn't come up. Like, in terms of time traveling movies, like that's like the time traveling movie. Even though it's campy, like that's still like there's no way you're talking about time travel and you're not gonna be like, oh yeah, like how Back to the Future did it this way.
Yeah.
Even if you're going a different direction, there's no way Back to the Future didn't come up at some point in conversation.
Okay. Any other questions from the episode?
We still don't know the number one question: how Noah got that swole.
Right. We do not know.
Still don't know how Noah got that swole. We do know that Noah is atheist.
Yeah.
The priest is atheist,
and he does view himself as Noah. Like this is like this time machine.
I think I said that right.
This time machine is my ark, and I am Noah.
I think I said that because I was like, all right, so if he's going by the name Noah, he's trying to wipe away like the sins of whatever.
He says this world is doomed for destruction.
So it seems like Noah's trying to control time.
Okay,
maybe that's broadly his goal. He might have more specific things he's trying to change. But it seems like broadly he's trying to eradicate anything that he deems detrimental to the advancement.
So not just random bad guy doing bad things.
Yeah.
No. Well, that is, like this isn't really a thing. Like everybody has, no one thinks they're bad.
Right.
Do we think Tronti's mom? She's the husband was a priest.
Agnes Nielsen.
Yeah, Agnes.
Oh yeah, Agnes Nielsen
She
said that her husband
was a priest,
was a pastor, but he wasn't really a man of God or whatever.
Yeah, and he said that she
that
was
could.
Evil or something.
I said that out loud when it happened.
You did say that out loud.
Noah, but I feel like they're in the same town at the same time.
They would have had to cross paths or something.
Yeah,
it is weird. It might have just been
possible.
A weird coincidence that they just
possible. It could just be a red herring, just give it a illusion.
Well, and Noah's always time traveling anyway, so he might have been just gone when she didn't.
Yeah.
No.
Because she also at one point she said that he's like dead to her, but he's not really dead.
We know he's not dead. Yeah.
So.
It's possible. It was Noah. I did have that was my initial thought. I mean, but the second she said a priest, I was like, Noah.
Yeah. So it either
so that
is
would make Noah
yeah.
Ulrich's like great grandfather,
something like that. Yeah.
Yeah. Because that's Ulrich's grandma, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that would That would make him his grandfather. Ulrich's grandfather.
Yeah, because
Ulrich's
grandfather. Because Tronte is his dad. And...
Yeah.
Wow.
That'll be interesting. I'm curious to see what's going to happen there. Yeah.
And
that would be Jonas's
great
grandfather.
Great, yeah.
Who?
Fuck yourself.
You have that family tree in your head right now?
Everybody is everybody's uncle.
Well, you gotta have two versions of it, because you gotta have like the version that they think is the family tree, and then the like correct family tree.
Very true. Because you keep on finding more and more things out.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Now the whole Mikkel being Jonas's dad thing, and that doesn't even faze anyone at this point. They're just like, fuck it.
I'm all for the incest, man.
I'm curious to see if we're gonna see any more flashbacks to like Mikkel growing up and like how he got sick.
I think so, because he's got to encounter. We know he encountered the stranger.
Yeah, I hope
because he said so.
I hope we get to see more of that.
Yeah, the stranger specifically mentioned that Michael saved his life.
Yeah,
right.
So he's got to have some type of encounter with him.
I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. I think that's a good place to end this discussion. I'm sure you guys want to get right into episode 10, so we'll sign off right here. Until next time, Auf Wiedersehen.
Auf Wiedersehen.
Auf Wiedersehen.